The Colts won this game. Let me just start off with a positive note. We are 5-5. We beat the team we were supposed to beat. However, we punted the ball 7 times, and Jonathan Taylor had 103 yards at halftime. Do you guys know how much he ended the game with? Because I do. He ended the game with 116. Guys, that's 13 yards in the second half. We scored 3 points in the second half against the Jaguars. I know what everybody's thinking. They beat Buffalo last week. Everybody's entitled to a good week. What I need to once again reiterate, because Kyle had the faith after we won last week. Oh, Kev, you won 45-30. You guys have been running the ball great. No. Frank did it again. He did it again, to where running the ball was a successful formula to which he decided to just go away from, up 20-9 when the third quarter started. We get Jacksonville to punt on their first drive. We get the ball back, and we just try to get fancy. Jacksonville's defense stepped up. Yes, they did what they needed to do in order to get us to give them the ball back 100%. But for our offense to punt the ball 7 times, unacceptable. Jonathan Taylor had 21 carries, which, don't let that fool you. He had a lot of garbage carries in the fourth quarter to try and ice and milk the clock, in which the offensive line got no push because at that point, Jacksonville knows stack the box with 9 or 10 people because we're handing it off. Anyway, Carson Wentz did not look good once again. No turnovers, thank God, but he did almost throw 2 picks. And he was almost strip sack fumble, but was able to hold the ball. So I'm looking at this game and I'm saying, once again, we're beating the team we're supposed to, but we are not capitalizing on what happened on the defensive side of the ball. Trevor Lawrence at half maybe had 30 yards. Maybe. He had like 4 total completions in that half. Why in God's name did we not win by 20-plus points? Why did Jonathan Taylor not have 160-plus rushing yards? Why did Nyheim Hines only have 2 touches? I am not understanding where Frank goes in these games where we hit a certain stride and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to risk it all. Jacksonville almost came back to where it was 20-17 in the fourth, and Jacksonville had the ball and was driving. And our defense had to make a play to strip sack Trevor Lawrence. Why is it that our games have to come to this point? Why do we have to struggle against a bad football team? I know we're better than this. And Carson Wentz, once again, another forcing the ball with your left hand, another shovel pass 6 yards deep down the field. I don't think he understands that you can't do that as a quarterback in the NFL, because he sure as shit did it a lot in Philadelphia. So I'm not going to say he's never done it before. But why? QBR of 23.6. Why? Trevor Lawrence was 16 of 35. He averaged 4.5 yards per fucking attempt. And we won this game by 6. I'm absolutely fed up with this team. We have 45 points against the Jets last week, and we barely score over 20 against the Jags. Unacceptable. Yes, we won. I should be looking at the bright side of things. No, the fuck I'm not. I was mad that we won by 15 last week because the Jets should not have scored fucking 30 points. This is a reoccurring thing in which the Colts either win by a lot or we fucking struggle because Frank wants to try to outcoach the coach on the other side. Or for God's sakes, Urban Meyer almost outcoached Frank Reich. The man was grinding on a 60-year-old woman in a fucking bar a month and a half ago, and we're sitting here struggling against him? Are you kidding me? Their best play from scrimmage was a fucking sweep on a third-string special teams running back, for God's sakes. Their offense was atrocious, and we could not score at all. And the only reason we had 23 points was because we blocked the punt and returned it for a touchdown. So technically, this should have been like 15-17. We should have lost this game. 18-17, excuse me. Barely lost, or barely won. Math isn't my strong suit. As you can see, I'm flustered and I'm very upset. I need us to figure out what the fuck we're doing. I need us to get it together. And I need Carson Wentz to stop. We're going to play a really good team next week in Buffalo. And if Carson does 2% of the shit he did today, we're losing by 20 points. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Frank saw my video 2-3 weeks ago, and we ran the ball for over 200 yards almost in back-to-back weeks. Frank, I'm talking to you. Run the football. Jonathan Taylor should have had way more than 13 total yards in the second half. Run the football.